You turn this down. OCO, everyone. OCO, look.
OCO, free thinkers.
OCO, everyone.
Yeah. Me and the lovely one in the house. Go ahead, throw it in the chat while we got time. Let me know where y'all watching from. I see we got Cedar Break, Texas in the building. Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas in the building. Houston, Texas in the building. Can you see the chat, babe?
Yeah, we have Chicago in the building.
Hey, what up, Chicago?
I saw D&D in the building.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
Fast now.
Yeah, it is going quick.
New York in the building.
New York in the building. Harlem, New York. Foley, that went so fast. I think that was Foley, Alabama. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Raleigh, North Carolina. Ohio in the building. North Carolina in the building. Brooklyn in the building. Let me see.
Ohio in the building. Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. It's going so fast. Atlanta in the building.
Okay, here we go. Mine caught up. Okay, there you go. Cause mine blinked out for a second. I thought something was wrong. Okay, now it's catching up. Damn. Okay, here we go. All right, Cleveland in the building. Hollywood, California in the building. Cleveland in the building. Connecticut in the building. Jacksonville, Florida. Duval in the building. Fort Worth, Texas in the building. Killeen, Texas in the building. Sacramento, California in the building. Pensacola, Florida in the building. Where we at? B-More in the building. What up, B-More? Suffolk, VA in the building. Cincinnati, Ohio in the building. Buffalo, New York in the building. Dallas, Texas checking in. Oh, man. Levante in the building. What up, brother Levante? You see Levante in the chat?
OCO Levante.
Let me see who we got. Yeah, put them turtles out. Yeah, go ahead. You can spam the chat. This perfect. You can spam the chat. Long Beach, Cali in the building. H-Town in the building.
OCO, everyone.
Oh, man.
OCO, free thinkers.
All right, so Milwaukee in the building. Oh, man. Can you see it? I can't see it.
Yes, Richmond, California is in the building.
Hey.
Warren, Ohio.
Set it on fire.
Dayton, Ohio. Richmond, VA in the building. What up, VA? I think that was Milwaukee that went, so somebody. Pontiac, Michigan in the building. I saw that. Arkansas in the building. San Diego, California in the building. Los Angeles in the building. What up, LA? San Fran in the house. Spirit, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Spirit 00. Monroe, Louisiana in the building. Memphis 10 in the building. That's M-Town. Chi-Town in the building. Long Beach in the building. Man, y'all out here tonight. Choctaw, Montana in the building. I see you, brother. Blue Dream in the building. What up, sis? Levante slowed it down for us. Thank you,
I
Levante.
see it.
All right. All right, so where we at? Oh, so that's Pittsburgh, PA, Baytown, and it's still going quick. South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Muskegon, Michigan in the building. It's still quick.
Kingstown, St. Vincent in the building.
Elk Grove, Cali. Arizona in the building. Las Vegas, Nevada in the building. Atlanta by way of Florence, South Carolina. Man, Florence, South Carolina, baby.
Naptown, where's that at? Where's Naptown? 317. Okay.
317 Naptown. Naptown pretty deep in here. Hold on, let me switch screens real quick, babe. Let me switch screens real quick. We're gonna come right back to that.
OCO, freethinkers. You're now tuned into the realest historian on the planet.
This brother, he is raising some serious questions.
He's here to make you think.
What I'm trying to do is get our people to understand that we have been lied to all the way around about our history. Can you name any other group of people, no matter their skin complexion, that are being labeled primarily as the name of two continents? Not two countries, two continents. That is called a misnomer, which is the act of applying a wrong name to some person or thing.
The best teacher you wished you had in school. Have your pens and paper handy and get ready to take notes.
I want y'all to check out somebody named Dane Calloway. Dane Calloway? Look into Dane Calloway. He has a lot of information about how this whole shit was told in reverse. Okay? Where they say, oh, we came from Africa over here. No, a lot of us was already here.
And information that was put together by a man by the name of Dane Calloway, who is also questioning the slave trade. And he's done some remarkable videos on the history of the slave trade in the United States. And he's gone back down the food chain and gone back down the line, and he's realized that a lot of the so-called African Americans in the United States are not African at all. They're actually Native Americans, because the slave trade did not happen the way we were told that it happened.
It's Dane Calloway.
Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal.
I'm not saying African American because they're not African American. They're the Aboriginals because they were the true Native Americans.
Set it on fire.
They're the copper colored race. Look up Dane Calloway and watch his fucking shows. That man, Dane Calloway on YouTube, oh my God. He is fucking beyond brilliant. The research he does, whoo, he goes way deep into this shit.
Relax and take notes.
It's Dane Calloway on I'm Just Here to Make You Think Radio.
Turn it up. Hey. Look, my wife and I, so far we put out 3 books and they 5 stars, cause we educating the tribe up. 100 years after 100 years, they done lied to us, but we wised up. The first book got them haters shook, cause it's up with my people, take a drive up. Memory lane, down memory lane, remember everything, watch it line up. And the second book, we exposed it all, had them gatekeepers going, how but predictable, they was fictional. All I heard getting that lies piled up. In the third book, we was riled up, like a car's engine with his mouths up. They the lie that said that we came from Africa when that's where they came from round, bro. Hey, finding out all on your own is what I highly recommend and suggest. And if you looking for answers and content by me, I highly recommend you the best, which is my website at the link you see just across the screen. Don't let it miss you. I make it simple. I double down on that black and white. It's too official. Hey,
It's up. Set it on fire.
Levante, you could run that run the chat for me normal speed. We should be good now. Please, brother. I know, right? Yeah, I gotta update. He said it. See, I gotta update it now. And speaking of which, I'm glad you brought that out because because we did release a new book yesterday or day before, called Fixing America's Broken Promise. Now, man, I softly announced it and y'all still showed up and showed off and showed support, man. I'm gonna drop a bomb for y'all. We really appreciate that, man. That was love right there. And babe, you said you had something to say about that, right?
Yeah, we want to thank everyone for their support, everyone that showed up on the first day and purchased the book, and everyone that's going to purchase the book afterwards. We really thank you all for that, and you all will be receiving a special gift with your order. Just wanted you guys to know that.
Hold up. Oh, I mean, I ain't know we was going to announce that, so they about to, okay. All right, let me drop a bomb. All right.
It's go time, Slim.
So those of you heard my wife. Say it again, baby, just in case I ain't here. Say it again, babe.
Everyone that purchased the book, the signed copy, you will be receiving a special gift with that.
Cause one thing about it, two things for sure, three things for certain, nigga.
I'm the realest nigga in it. You already know.
Man, all right. I'm just, y'all know me. I'm over here on these buttons. So I'm excited. And once again, shout out to those of you that did, and show support that first day. And those of you that will be supporting here shortly, man. This is all coming from us now. Don't get it twisted. Now we doing our own distribution, okay? So now we got full control. And I mean, it got a little crazy, didn't it, babe? It got a little.
Yeah, everything was crazy. It was a lot of work.
But, and speaking of a lot of work, I'm glad that we got that portion up out of the way because that was taking the majority of our time trying to get everything done as far as distribution is concerned. We were already working on new content. And let's not forget about the Maui live stream. Let me announce that right now. Babe, and you had something to say about that too, right?
Yes. Those of you who are looking for the Maui live stream, we're still going to do that.
Yep.
We received a lot of information in the 13% community, and we want to thank you guys for all of that information because we followed up on that, and we're going to do the Maui live stream at a later time.
Yeah. So a lot of people were sending us leads, and we was like, ooh, man, we, you know how we did. We like to get our nose involved and be nosy. But yeah, so we're still gonna do that live stream. I know everybody was experiencing either tropical storms or hurricanes, and certain delays happen. At the same time, we talking about something that happened in Maui, and then everybody else was getting hit. So that is a little slight delay on that, but that's coming. Am I missing something? I don't think I think, okay, we did that. What, was it anything else, babe?
Well, you mentioned that basically a lot of our content took a hit while we were trying to get the business side together.
Yeah.
As far as the new website. But you guys, we definitely have a lot of bangers coming. We got some new, fresh content coming.
Hey.
Set it on fire.
Listen.
So I want to know if you guys are ready to see some new content on the channel. And if so, I want you guys to spam the chat with some feathers, some turtles, some fire sign emojis. I want you guys to spam the chat if you want some new content.
New content. If y'all want to spam the chat, like my wife said, it doesn't matter what it is. Fire emojis, bow and arrows, feathers, turtles, spam it. Man, because we've been sitting on, I ain't gonna lie, we've been sitting on a couple of things, but we had to, because we had to get a lot of other stuff done. But yeah, look at the chat now. So I'm glad that y'all able to do that, because now my wife sees it, right? You see it now, right, babe?
Yeah, I see it.
They ready. They ready. Was there anything else you wanted to say, babe, before I let you go? Because I know you gotta get back to doing what you're doing.
No, just want to say thank you guys once again. And, we love you guys. And Watto.
Watto, baby, I need one favor from you before you go, before you get started with your work down there. Can you, our oldest son got the air up here on freezer. Can that be adjusted? Okay. And can you bring another water for me, please?
Okay, sure.
Please. And I had the doors closed. Just knock on it, please, for me, babe. And then I'll fix everything up right here, okay?
Okay.
I appreciate that, babe. Thank you for joining me, because I know they wanted to hear that, and I'm glad it came from you. I'm glad you was able to make some time to make that happen, man. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, hon.
I appreciate my wife always. See, the thing is that my wife always been supporting me from day one. And, here and there, she'll tap into the stuff like that as far as being up front like this. But usually she behind the scenes working with me. We going out on the road and all that traveling and stuff like that. All the work, all of the research that this take, man. Staying up late nights and, not having sleep. And then still, she's, a mother of our 5 children. I'm the father of our 5 children. We are realistically married, been married since, you might as well say since elementary school, but I ain't trying, but at the same, we've been together for a long time trying to get this stuff done for the people. And I appreciate you for being right there with me, baby.
I appreciate you, hon. Thank you.
Come on, when you ready, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right.
I'll see you guys, Watto.
Hey. Hold up, let me get everything together on my side. Okay. Take it back, what's ours? You see the title? We're playing chess while they playing checkers. This is not a game. A few things I wanted to get into, but so we could dive into this a little bit more. So, okay. I have received a lot of messages. I just want to throw this out there, okay? I have received a lot of messages from people that were, trying to inform me that there was some people out there bootlegging or pirating one of our books, okay? I just want to let you all know that our attorneys are on it, okay? Our attorneys are on it. Any copyright infringement stuff, they're going to take care of that, okay? And also, none of this is stopping anything that we got going, that's supposed to be happening here in the near future. As far as special events that will pop up, and you all can join us at these particular events. We'll be going to special places, dealing with our history here in America. And also some other special events will be like set up like community events. All that stuff is taking place. I'm getting more people on board to the team to make sure everything is straight, everything is professional. And then, as far as transportation, all that stuff we getting all that stuff done, okay? Right now as we speak. And then I will make announcements to let you all know, hey, we're going to be in your city. We're going to be in your city because the tour is coming. Just be on the lookout for that. So let me see here. That's all I wanted to say right there so we could jump right into the topic, okay? Shout out to my wife for joining me. Let me refresh this because I know I missed a couple people that was okay, Mario Tyler. Thank you for your donation, Mario. I appreciate that. See, I got it set up where I'm not missing nobody. Even if I don't do it right away, I'm gonna come back and see it. You understand what I'm saying? Gwen, thank you for your donation as well, Gwen. I'm gonna drop a bomb for both of you. I appreciate that. All right, so let's get this started. The first thing I want to cover so we could get a little deeper after this is this right here. I'm not too sure if anybody really stated this on their channels, but I want to bring this to your attention. Hold up. Oh, I had this open. That's why I was doing that. Okay. Let me make sure y'all can see this. Okay, y'all can see that. All right, now. Chosen for greatness. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that. Thank you for always looking out, sis. And Todd Johnson gifted a membership. I appreciate that, Todd. Thank you. All right, now look, y'all see what this is called, right? Now this bill has been introduced. Look, y'all, hold on, because look, this is not a game. This is not a game. I want to read this to you all. I got it up on y'all side. Let me try to pull it up on my side so I can read it as well. If you all can see this, let me know. If you can, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you all could read this, or should I zoom it in some more? Matter of fact, let me zoom it in some more. Yeah, babe, that's you? Okay, hold up. Wait a minute, this is live, y'all. Thank you. Man, you got them shorts on, huh? Huh? Okay. You said it's blurry. All right, hold on. What was I? Blurry. I'm gonna read it out to you. I tried to zoom in the best way I can. On y'all side. So I'm gonna read it to you. So what's going on right now is HR 4321. Listen to how convenient that was, huh? HR 4321, no bailouts for reparations act. No bailouts for reparations act. Listen to how deep this is, y'all. Now, apparently, the governor in California is about to make a move with those folks out there in California giving them reparations, because this was a Republican from Texas that introduced this bill. I'm gonna read it to you. I couldn't believe this. I was like, what? Ain't nobody talking about this? HR 4321 to prohibit the United States government from providing bailouts or other financial assistance to any state or local government that enacts any law providing reparations for slavery and for other purposes. I could not believe this. Now, okay, hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. If reparations, to prohibit it. Yeah, they trying to prevent it. To prevent it. This is not a joke. Now, if reparations is proven to be owed to a particular group, okay, by that group, those group of people that prove that their ancestors were affected by slavery and that their ancestors were involved in slavery, meaning, having to work for somebody else, got paid little to nothing. Okay, they should see some compensation for that, because promises were made that this government did not keep. And what I told y'all is the only way this is going to work is if the government admits to their wrongdoing. They have to admit that they were wrong from the jump. I'm very surprised that a Republican congressman did this. Very surprised. Let me read this to you so you can see. So when you scroll down, it says, again, to prohibit the United States government from providing bailouts or other financial assistance to any state or local government that enacts a law, any law, providing reparations for slavery and for other purposes. That's knocking everything down. that they did with the California Reparations Task Force. So the government straight up like, look, we're not providing nothing for y'all. That's going to be straight up to the state. That's going to be strictly up to y'all. And they know for a fact that California alone is not going to be able to afford it. That's purposely done. Now, what really caught my eye is the fact that he's a Republican. And you know, the governor in Cali, I believe he was going to try to run for some, a presidential run. I'm not too sure if it's too late for him to do that now, but he was definitely riding on the back of him, creating the California Reparations Task Force as a way to garner the vote of our people, as if we, our people out there in California were actually going to receive something. Me personally, I believe this part right here was done to bail him out of having to provide anything for the people that did prove that their people were affected. Hear me out on this, because this is just the introduction of the bill. Why do this now? 4, 3, 2, 1. When you hear that, it's usually like you trying to test something. When you hear those numbers like, woo, hold on, look. When you hear them numbers together like that, might check 1, 2, 1, 2 or 4, 3, 2, 1. You checking something. Listen, that I'm looking at it like, now, once again, I don't have any proof of this. This is an allegation that I'm making right now. I believe that with him being a Republican, the guy's name is Brian Babin. Introduced this 0623. Oh no, that was the last action, right? Oh no, it was introduced 0623. Now, I just wanted to and look. Matter of fact, that was June, and this got past us. This really got past us, and that was around the same time. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, that was around the same time that the California Reparations Task Force was about to turn over all of the, the research that they did as far as the data gathering to the legislation or legislators out there in California. This is lining right up, okay? Lining right up. Now, that's just me as far as what I believe is going on here. Because if you look at this, if you look at what he says, it says right here underneath that, section 2, in general, the United States government, including the Federal Reserve System and independent agencies, may not provide any loan, grants, or other form of financial assistance to the government of any state or political subdivision thereof, or any agency or instrumentality of such a state or political subdivision that enacts into law any program providing reparations on the basis of 1, slavery, or 2, race, ethnicity, national origin, or historical practices related thereto. I'm not liking that. Like, that happened so quickly, right up under our nose, as California was allegedly trying to do something. Not even allegedly, but the reason why I said allegedly is because, once again, I'm still looking for this. I'm still waiting for the legislators out there in California to do something, like say something. Okay, they looked over everything. We were supposed to hear back. Okay, when the California Reparations Task Force disbanded, was it June 30th? No, it was on the, hold on, I did a video on this. I can't remember the date. It was either late June, early July. And I remember that they had to turn this in on a Thursday. They were going to be debriefed that Monday. I remember that, by the legislators. And I believe that was in July when it was supposed to take place. keep in mind, this happened right up under our noses. Now, another thing I'm about to show you. You get this pulled up. By the way, that's it. Hold on. Let me make sure I show y'all that. That's it. Only 2 sections. But that's a big deal. That says a lot in just those 2 sections. Oh, subsection shall only apply to the unit of government so enacting a reparations program. So that's the application. Who it applies to. Now I said, okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn. As far as the actions are concerned, it was only introduced, not passed. It was only introduced. Now, if it passes the House and passes the Senate, then it got to go to the are y'all seeing this? Then it got to go to the president to become law. Like, you got to sign off on it. Now, me. Here's another thing I want to mention. Me. If I had a choice between who I wanted in office, like if I had a real choice, authentic choice, I'm voting Trump. I'm voting Trump. Number one, I know for a fact that Trump would throw this out. Number two, I know for a fact that Trump was getting ready to, he called it his platinum plan, was getting ready to help us out. Even though I don't like that terminology where he was calling us black Indians, but shit, let that slide. We'll fix that part later. He was calling us black Indians. Fuck it. Let it slide. Trump was the only one making moves for us. No bull. Ask Ice Cube. No bull. The only one. He called it the platinum plan. This is not a joke. Now, if you Democrat, Republican, I'm not Democrat nor Republican. I'm not for neither party. Okay? But I'm just letting you know that he was making moves. Behind the scenes, Trump and his administration was working in our favor. And I'm telling you, if Trump had one more time to get up in there, we would have been in a way better position right now. As far as us being an Egypt, as far as us being American Indians, or they're gonna call us black Indians. I'm just saying, we wouldn't even need, listen to me, y'all, we wouldn't even need to go through, some governor or some other congressman. We wouldn't need to, we would have the president. We would have the freaking president. So yes, you heard Dane Calloway state yes. What? Hold up. A whole bunch of red just popped up on my screen. Oh, because somebody, what? Hold up. Wait. Did we pull this up? Lafayette Holly. Whoa. Hold up, brother. Hold up. I appreciate that, brother. Big don't know. I'm dropping like 3-4 bombs.
Set it on fire.
You ain't had to do all that, brother Lafayette, but I appreciate you. Firm handshakes, brother. I appreciate that. Show some love to brother Lafayette in the chat for me, y'all. And Soul Star gifted 10 memberships. Soul Star, I appreciate that. Sheesh. 10 memberships? Don't forget, that's very similar. Oh no, I apologize. Soul Star donated. They had this set up. Hold on, I've looked at it wrong. Soul Star donated. I appreciate that, Soul Star. Root gifted. I apologize. Root gifted 10 members. Shout out to Root. Man. Niji Warrior been a member for 4 months in a row. Trap, but you already know. It's up. High Moon, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that, y'all. Thank y'all for showing love. But yes, I'm going for Trump. Okay, I'm just saying, if we had an option to hear me out on this, as far as the people are concerned, if our voice actually counted, or at least our vote, rather. If our vote actually counted. Okay? Like, they not playing no bull crap around. And I mean, because we know Trump would have won. Okay? But I mean, we know he gonna win now. I mean, what president you know got a lineup picture? That's another thing, y'all. Hold on. I'm glad I got a chance to talk about this, y'all. A lineup picture? A line-up picture. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull it up. Let me see if I could. This right here. This. What? Hold up. Mugshot. I'm pulling it up. This picture. Huh? What? Like, who? What president? How? You know, as soon as I step back in office as the president, I'm going to make sure that we lock up Hillary. We're going to lock every single body up, and everybody that was down there that showed support for me in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sorry for, messing up the traffic for 2 hours. We're going to fix that, but I'm going to get that young lady up out of there. She does not deserve that position. She does not know how to use her power, her strength. Do you see the face I'm making right now? Does it look like I'm playing with these people, or am I serious? Trump ain't playing. That's the I'll be back. I'll be back. That's the I'll be back face right there. Oh, don't you worry. I'll be back. That's what's going on right now. And I know if I'm enjoying it, because this ain't nothing but real talk. This ain't nothing but a movie going on. It's a real life movie playing out in real life. It's a real life movie playing out in real life. But you just boosted, not only did you boost Trump's ego, but that's kind of gangster in a way. You locking up a president for no reason. You're going to say that it's RICO charges. Trump came in Georgia looking like the president. I did not see him hop out, but it took them, according to the news, it took them 22 minutes to process him. And I remember when I was younger and they locked me up, it usually take 3 days to go through processing. I remember this. Come on, man. What? I want everything expedited. I want everything to work out properly so I could be in and out. I want to go back, get my coffee. And I'm like, what? Huh? But yeah, that just goes to show you that they don't want him to become president again. Like, on a realistic note, this ain't nothing but a political move right here, y'all. Big time. We already know this. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. What you doing locking him up for? Like he actually did something wrong by claiming that y'all was frauding. Me with Brooke Montreal Media Spot. I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a member. But we all know better, okay? We all know better. And again, I'm not Democrat nor Republican. I'm not for any of that. I can't stand this government, and I can't even stand them politicians. But when I saw this, I said, man, what? For what? I have older videos, and I remember when people were saying that Donald Trump was racist, and I can clearly say, no, he not. If he racist, then why he handing out his plane to Michael Jackson, riding with him? His private plane. Because it's Michael Jackson? Or because he's been friends with a lot of people in the entertainment business for years. He run with his own security. He informed the people why he didn't pay taxes and why he shouldn't and we shouldn't pay taxes. He said the only time that's going to happen is if you change the tax code, right? And all them politicians shut up about his taxes after that. He put it back on them. You got to showcase that you paying taxes. Did I like that? Nick, I loved that. I was like, what? Expose it all, Trump. Do it. So turn around and now, okay, another thing, right? The only Democrat that I like is the Kennedy. What is it, Junior? I think he on the wrong side. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's the only one I like. Because I like the fact that he was exposing all the pedophilia and all the, the child trafficking and stuff like that, and he was exposing the vaccines. Okay. I like that. But Kennedy Jr., yeah, but Junior, wrong time to run, brother. You going against Trump. I can't name a person, whether if it's that guy the guy down in Florida, the governor in Florida. All of y'all might as well just wrap it up. Ain't no way y'all about to stop Trump. No way. I don't care if you arrest him or not. There's no way. And Democrats have a tendency of keeping on track of going against us, but using us. They got a track record, yeah. DeSantis in Florida. But they got I'm talking about the Democrats now got a track record of using our people. I'm talking about since day one. Using our people to garner our vote, make all these little promises just to get our vote, and turn right around and don't do nothing they say they're gonna do. And that's what when people say they Democrats still and they, my same skin complexion, I be looking at them like, what? Like you don't know I done went over the history of the Democrats, the Dixiecrats, multiple times on this channel. And everything I point out ain't good. Seriously. And people running with these folks. But that's how I know when it comes to that particular law, to go back to that, when it comes to this particular law right here, I know for a fact, with that being Republican out of Texas, I know for a fact that that's to back up Governor Newsom out in California, to back him up. I think there was a plan, this was his bailout. Notice how they use that type of terminology in this bill, but that was his way to bail out. I just don't see that happening, y'all. As far as reparations are concerned, do I want reparations for our people? Yes. Do I feel as though we are owed reparations? Yes. But I feel as though also, to add on to that we are owed way more than reparations. The number one thing is land. Number one, hands down. Hands down. This is our shit. They're just visitors. And that's what I feel as though, if anything, there's a couple of people out there I know that's trying to run for political position right now, and they listening to me. I hope y'all listening to me right now. God damn it, let that be the argument. I dare you. Let the land be the argument here. So I will be right there with you. We gonna act like Denzel. Remember when, hold on, I got that.
I run shit here. You just live here.
That we gonna be just like that.
I run shit here. You just live here.
It gotta go back to that. Okay. And then on top of that, I feel as though still, I don't feel that we're being represented enough in this government. So I think since the government is a business anyway, which means that, it's a corporation. It is a business. It's being ran as a business. Then we should have our own. That's why I was trying to tell people. In fact, we go into more detail about that in the book that my wife and I just put out called Fixing America's Broken Promise. Shameless plug. Fixing America's Broken Promise. But we have to set up our own. We have to. And then that way they're going to take us serious at that point, because there is no way that they should be getting away with this right here. Coming up with a bill, and trying to get this passed to say, no, the government is not going to be assisting any state or local governments that's providing reparations for slavery. Notice how they ain't got the term Africa in here. I should start some shit right now. I should. Notice that though. Matter of fact, the California Reparations Task Force got that situated clearly. They told you that it was a very astronomical amount as far as the difference is concerned between us and Africans. They established that. That's on public record. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. And don't get me wrong, this ain't no hate to authentic Africans. This ain't got nothing to do with them. This ain't got nothing to do with them. They didn't lose land. They got their land. They got their motherland. See? We over here letting foreigners dictate, sit on our land, live here.
I run shit here. You just live here.
It's Dane Calloway.
Listen, we got a whole bunch of stuff that we got to change. A lot. And it got to start. And those, once again, those politicians out there that listen to me, of course I could, we could speak cordially, I could calm my take down and stuff like that. Right now I'm live, so I'm going to be all hyped up and everything like that, but we can have a very decent conversation. We could bounce ideas back and forth. I can hand you all of the information that you need when it comes to our history. And I'm very persistent with that. And my wife and I as well. Like, we can hand you a whole bunch of stuff where there's a lot of discrepancies in these government records, a lot of discrepancies with a lot of promises that were made to our people, our ancestors. And I have proved it before. I could prove it again. If you would like to get in touch with me, reach out to me. Actually, you got to reach out to my team because I don't have a public email. Brand spanking new email for my team. It is called info. Matter of fact, this is the one that y'all got to use. Those out there that are politicians trying to run, for political position that want to start some trouble, but in our favor, come on now. Info at DaneMakeYouThink.com. And again, info at DaneMakeYouThink.com. And speaking of which, brand spanking new website.
Set it on fire.
DaneMakeYouThink.com. Okay? If y'all didn't see that already, DaneMakeYouThink.com. That is actually where you go also to grab the new books, to grab the new films, to grab the new music, everything else that we're going to be doing. And as far as the 13% community server, be on the lookout for that. The app is coming. All that stuff is coming. We're working on it. That's what we've been working for this whole time, to get all that stuff done so we can get back to this real content that's coming out. But yes, so I got to shout it out, y'all. DaneMakeYouThink.com. That took a lot of freaking work. And it's still not finished, but I said, forget it. Put it out. Anyway, so once again, if you all want to reach out to me on Instagram, you still can. Those of you that would like to join the 13% community server, my moderators inside of the chat will show you the link. That is free. You could join the 13% community server. We can keep in contact. I am still looking out for people that want to be on board, that want to bring something to the table so we could get some things done. Because we are going to go on a tour. We are going to make noise. And it's not just going to be educational, as far as being hands-on educational stuff. It's going to be some, I don't want to use the term political, but it has to be that particular moves made for a particular reason. Those type of moves have to be made. I do see that. Now, again, I'm not contradicting myself. I'm just no longer turning my nose up to that side anymore, because there was a lot of so-called political people that have, jumped on board with what's going on with us. They see that we are being discriminated against, okay? Even by those that are considered Native Americans. They see that. They see the hate that we receive, okay? Now I'm informing them, especially on a one-on-one basis to make sure that they have all of that embedded in their mindset of what happened to our ancestors in the past, okay? And how it affects us now. We got to correct that so we can have a better future. A lot of people would turn their nose up to this particular information that we present. And when I say we, is my wife and I and many other people that's online that's doing that. The reason why they turn their nose up, main reason is because they never heard of it before. They never looked into it before. It's a lot of people that could regurgitate information dealing with all other parts of the world, right? And then they'll talk about prehistoric times and et cetera, et cetera. But what about America's history? Because once you dive into America's history, you're going to realize that all of America's history has to deal with us. From start to now, has to deal with us. We were always involved in more ways than one. When it comes to the economy, when it comes to this language that we're speaking, we went over that too. When it comes to the history and the heritage that we created out here, the trends that we created out here, the government that we created out here, the rules and see this is another reason why I'm getting hyped. I'm getting hyped. Use me, ancestors, use me. Because it was so many things that were set in place for our people to benefit. But a small group of people backtracked. Said, let's try to make this work out for us now. Talking about dead people, that little small, tight knit, no matter their skin complexion. At this point, skin complexion don't even matter. It don't even matter. Because I also pointed out on numerous occasions that it was our own people helping those foreigners out as well. Sold us out. I showed y'all that. So we ain't even got to go back over that. But we are, actually. Part 3 of the Gatekeepers is coming. Be on the lookout for that. But I'm just saying. Yeah. All right, but another thing I wanted to get into, right? On that topic of that term African, right? Notice how the terminology African is nowhere near in this bill that was introduced. None. I just want to make sure y'all see that. I'm gonna go slow. Hold on, let me start from the top. This is congress.gov. I don't want to hear no excuses. None. We're gonna go slow. This is the text that's inside of HR 4321. No term African being used, right? So now, I'm gonna bring something up. I want you all to notice what is being stated here. Now, Fox came out with this June 27th, talking about it. But they interviewed Karen Jean-Pierre. That's the White House press secretary, this lady right here, right? Okay, Karen Jean-Pierre. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. To me, that sounds a little French. She may have an African background right here. This lady right here. That sound French to me. Maybe y'all could correct me in the chat. She's Haitian. Is she Haitian? Is that Jean-Pierre? I said Jean. Is that Jean-Pierre? She's Haitian. Okay. Okay. All right, now, I want you to notice what the reporter is saying when I'm getting ready to play. Watch what the reporter says. Talking about this same situation. Let's make sure. Texas rep introduces bill to bar federal bailouts of states that implement reparations. So I'm going to play this. I want you all to hear something. Make sure it's turned up.
You may not expect this, but your generator actually comes partially charged, so you can use it straight out of the...
White House is recognizing Juneteenth, which is Monday. And with that said, the issue of reparations continues to be something that is being parsed out on the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue. And with that said, the late John Conyers started with, a study. Now you have Congresswoman Bush not just asking for a study, but she's creating a resolution to push forward on reparations. What does this White House believe when it comes to this controversial issue of repairing a wrong for the descendants of Africans in this nation?
So look, as you mentioned, Juneteenth, there was a concert here yesterday, and we saw how powerful and how moved the president was by the concert and by...
Number one, that reporter said descendants of Africans. I just want that to be known. I just want that to be known, that the reporter stated descendants of Africans. Not African slaves, not American descendants of slavery. She said descendants of Africans.
The story that was laid out through the concert about Juneteenth and how important that moment was. Opal, as you know, was here, and it's always moving to hear her and to see her. And as you know, the president signed Juneteenth to be the most recent holiday about 2 years ago. So I think that shows from that action. I'll give you more. I think that shows from that action how important the president thinks this moment is, how important he thinks that it is important.
Whoa, how important the president thinks this moment is. This moment. Right now, it's just a facade, y'all. It's just a facade. They'll get over it. It's just a moment. Man, why did they do that? I didn't hear anything.
When I got out, I didn't want to admit that there was anything wrong because...
Man, what? They played the commercial, ain't even hit nothing.
If you're not, it's okay. Thank you.
Veterans.
Damn, Fox, I can't even...
.gov/reach.
What the... Hold up. Okay, anyway. That's not... Okay, hold up. I should have done... Something told me to download that video. I didn't know they was going to do that stupid crap. Hold up. You better not play another commercial. Okay.
And,
all right.
We saw how
let me hurry up and let me just play this because
the president was by the concert and by kind of the story that was laid out through the concert about Juneteenth and how important that moment was.
That moment,
as you know, was here, and it's always moving to hear her and to see her. And as you know, the president signed Juneteenth to be the most recent holiday about 2 years ago. So I think that shows from that action. I'll give you more. I think that shows from that action how important the president thinks this moment is.
This moment, not movement, moment.
It is important to continue to lift up the African American community, and he'll continue to do so. As it relates to reparations, I saw just moments ago Cori Bush's resolution. We haven't reviewed the proposal yet. It's a new proposal, so we'll take a look at it. So I can't comment on that specifically. But the president has been really clear when as it relates to reparation. He wants to.
Y'all saying the volume is low?
And studying the continuing impact.
I'm gonna start from the top. And I'm gonna hold up. That's as high as it go. That volume. Oh wait, no, it's not. I'm sorry.
This White House is recognizing Juneteenth, which is Monday. And with that said, the issue of reparations continues to be something that is being parsed out on the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue. And with that said, the late John Conyers started with, a study. Now you have Congresswoman Bush not just asking for a study, but she's creating a resolution to push forward on reparations. What does this White House believe when it comes to this controversial issue of repairing a wrong for the descendants of Africans in this nation?
For the descendants of Africans.
As you mentioned, Juneteenth, there was a concert here yesterday, and we saw how powerful and how moved the president was by the concert and by kind of the story that was laid out through the concert about Juneteenth and how important that moment was. Opal, as you know, was here, and it's always moving to hear her and to see her. And as you know, the president signed Juneteenth to be the most recent holiday about 2 years ago. So I think that shows from that action. I'll give you more. I think that shows from that action how important the president thinks this moment is. How important
she said moment twice.
It is important to continue to lift up the African American community.
Lift up.
Continue to do so. As it relates to reparations, I saw just moments ago Cori Bush's resolution. We haven't reviewed the proposal yet. It's a new proposal, so we'll take a look at it. So
we'll take a look at it
specifically. But the president has been really clear when as it relates to reparation. He wants to see a study of reparations.
A study.
And studying the continuing impacts of slavery. He believes that is incredibly important.
If the study concludes what many thought leaders and civil rights leaders have said, what next? Does the president support a payout? Because the nation is divided on this. This has been one of the biggest issues over the decades about how to repair the enslavement over generations of Africans brought to this country for free labor. So what does the president do after?
On Africans.
What will he lean in on after a study, which is expected to basically say what many of the civil rights and black thought leaders have said? Does the president believe in a financial repair for the descendants of Africans in this nation?
Descendants of Africans.
I will say this: we got to let the study move forward. We got to see what the study shows.
Where the study at?
Continue to study the impact of slavery.
Study.
That the president believes that we need to do. So that's incredibly important. But I will say, April, and you know this, you've covered this since we've walked into this administration. When we think about the crises that we see in our country, the president called out how race inequality is a problem, right? Is a crisis for us in this moment.
Okay, and then
he's taking comprehensive action. When you think about
comprehensive
what he did on
action,
the first couple of days that he walked in, signing an executive order to make sure at the federal level that we put equity at the center of this, and it is important
center of what?
To continue to do this. How do we deal with the inequalities that we see in this country? And he's trying to do that on the federal level.
That's
Let's see what the study shows. It is important to continue to study the continuing impacts, if you will, on slavery. And I think because of the president's action, he's been very clear. He's been very clear how important it is, even just looking at his economic policy, how important it is to leave no one behind, have equity at the
leave
center
no one
of
behind.
Everything that he's done. If you look at every piece of historic piece of legislation that has passed, that he has signed, it has equity at the center of that. And that's because the president
but
has
not our
that
people
in mind, right? To make sure that we have equality, to make sure that we leave no one behind.
And that was it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's a problem that I want to, I want to put that out there on the forefront to people to let y'all know that regardless of what they say, study, regardless of what they say, the only way that we're going to be fully represented by us as a people is if we have the correct representation in this government. Like, I'm talking about born and breeded here, indigenous to this land, to this one right here. Now, y'all told me that she's Haitian. She's indigenous to Haiti. But what did Haiti have to do in order for them to become independent, in order for them to be recognized as their own? What did they have to do? See, that's what's missing here. I'm just saying. Yeah, they had to go to war, right? And, they did what they had to do in order to say, this is ours. Kicked all them foreigners out, including Africans, by the way. Kicked all them French people out. Now, I just want y'all to understand that it may go to that. I mean, I can't really state what I want to state for real, because some some may take that as enticing, like I'm trying to entice people to do something violent, and I'm not. This is not about hate speech. This is strictly about education. Okay, but I'm tired of going back and forth with our own people when all we hear these politicians say is study. It's so important for us to study. We got to study the effects. You already know what happened. And they brought up the brother that put out HR 40, brought it up, 1989. How long is it going to take you to study? 1989? How long is it going to take you to study the effects? Who's affected? Okay, but it's a reason behind that. And I also told you all that you cannot find or prove, rather, you're not gonna be able to find it neither. When you do, that's why it's so important for you to do your own genealogy. By the way, I got to mention that I have a book out that will give you step-by-step instructions. It's instructions, basically, instructional guide to start it. You got to know your history of your family. Start it. Don't be lazy. See, that's another reason why I created the 13% community server, so people can bring up those questions inside of those forums on genealogy, so we could help people and assist people every way that we can. Okay, because I know I'm not gonna be able to help everybody, but I'm trying to help the best way that I can. And I know we're gonna need representation. We're gonna need some strong backup when it comes to us being out there and putting ourselves out there in the forefront. I ain't talking about no Black Lives Matter type of movement. I ain't talking about that. Being funded by some so-called elite. I'm not talking about that. There is no room for infiltration on what we have to do. There's no room for infiltration on what we should be doing. There's no room for distractions neither. This is about us, strictly us. This entire time, I've been educating people on what happened to us so we could get something done. That's the overall goal. Know what happened to your people so we could get some things done. Because continuously, they're stating that they have to study. They have to study. They have to study as if they don't know. But what I told you all is the reason why that's being mentioned is because they know that they are involved. Who was they, Dane? The government. The government has everything to do with it. Everything. Now, we can also, start pointing the fingers at particular companies like banks, insurance companies, of course, but they were all up under the government. Every single one of them. They're being federally regulated by the government. Okay? Any financial institution is being federally regulated right now. Any financial institution. That includes banks and insurance companies. This is just, come on.
Relax and take notes. Take notes.
So if we know that for a fact, they know that, these particular insurance companies and banks know banking institutions, they know for a fact that the government will have their back. And this is the government having their back right there, where they strictly are not admitting to their wrongdoing. Strictly.
And how moved.
And I'm telling you, we have the only problem that we have really is the fact that our people are not waking up to that, not waking up to the real issues here. They're being distracted as if we have to, we got to vote that person in, things will get done. I'm not going to lie. Yes, I do. Once again, I'm going to say this again. I do see politicians out there reaching out to me and we talking and everything like that. But still, let's be real here. Let's be real. When you get in there, is everything still going to be the same? Like, are your promises going to be kept? All your promises going to be met? Or all your goals as far as for our people? No, realistically, no, because the government does not have a history of that. Oh, well, things could turn around. We can turn the tables around. Yes, we can. That's a possibility, but we got to be prepared for it. Because we can't just leave one politician that's able to, to move some furniture around. We can't leave that particular politician behind and not have no backup for that politician. Not only protection, but backup. We need a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We need the whole alphabet. We need a plan. And I don't think those plans should be out in the open. Like, it shouldn't be on these open platforms like YouTube, for example. Everything should be in-house. I said to myself before, and I talked to my wife about it, about some things that worked in the past that we need to bring back up. Unions. I'm sure that's what worked for this government, this foreign government that's in place right now. They had a union, right? Still do. It was called the Union States of America, or the Union States, rather. And that was around the time when it was a continental Congress. Continental. They were after all continents that they could what? Colonize. But the Congress was their assembly. We could do the same thing, by the way. The same thing. And we have. Who you think they got this script from? You think think about this now. Some poor, enslaved Europeans, whatever you want to call them, coming over here, marking down themselves as free whites. Don't forget that. 1790 U.S. Census, free. But they were free from being enslaved over there and wanted to start their own. Do you think that they were educated enough or aware enough or conscious enough, rather, to create their own government? Or did they sit back and watch for a second? Don't forget that it took them years to get this done. We talk about them starting to come over here 1604, 1608, 1612, 1614. That government, this government that's in play right now, ain't even get the ball rolling until 1850s. What year was that they start having selective voting? I believe that was 1853, if I'm not mistaken. Well, you actually get to vote a representative to become a politician or a president, all et cetera, the selective voting. 1853, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. It could be 1855. Around that era, let's just say 1850s, right? They did not have a thing in the 1600s, the 1700s, and now all the way up into the mid 1800s. This should make you also question a lot of things that we were told. When it comes to our history, as far as the American history. Question it. Think about that. The United States of America allegedly got its independence 1776. From who? Wait a minute. From who? Put this together. It wasn't Spain. It wasn't France. 1776 got the independence from who, y'all? From Britain, right? Put it together. Now, if they got their independence from Britain, wait a minute. Are you trying to claim that you were always in America and Britain had a stronghold over all of the Americas? When the majority of this territory was either Indian lands or Indian territories, you didn't have a thing over here during that time period. Wait a minute. So did you gain your independence by claiming that you are no longer enslaved to the British government by coming over here in another territory that they did not have a stronghold over? Uh-oh. Is that what you're talking about? Because I want you to think of the people that allegedly fought in a war. They making you assume, keep this in mind, that allegedly fought in a war that we cannot even verify. How did you gain your independence in 1776? You seeing pictures of a war. Were all those people over here at that time? We're supposed to just use our imagination to the conceptual arts that you created to make it seem as if there was a war? As if you guys were over here deep enough to beat Great Britain and a territory that you are not indigenous to? How does that make sense? And if that actually took place, then start naming everybody. Every person that was a part of each cavalry. I want you to go from the captains, the lieutenants, the sergeants, all the way down to the officers. Or the soldiers, rather. Or name all the officers, name the soldiers. I dare you. I dare you. Not the 1 or 2, 3 people that they'll put out there. We talking about thousands of people had to fight in order to get their independence from Great Britain. Now, also inside of my wife and I's book called It Was Told in Reverse, what'd I tell you? No, it wasn't about independence. It was about a reconstruction. Keep in mind, Great Britain, France, and Spain always worked together. They were the big three. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So if they always worked together, in fact, keep in mind that was the same three that was coming over here being nosy. Spain, France, Great Britain. Right? I want you to look at this now. How? Who were they going to send over here? And they have no idea how many people lived over here. Who were they going to send over here to be on a suicide mission to come over here and take over our territory, y'all? Who? Those people should be in a museum somewhere right now. Every single one of them. Not George Washington. Another bomb. You reconstruction it. You reconstructed your deal. That's what you did, Great Britain. You reconstructed your deal with France and Spain. This was a fight over colonizing territory that you were unfamiliar with. It goes back to the what? Paper bulls, laws of the land. They're going to take it. They're going to take the land from up underneath the indigenous people by way of religion. Not by war. It was a spiritual war this whole time. Because think about that. Who was going to fight for them over here? Again, that was a suicide mission. So the majority of the people that came weren't soldiers. They were missionaries on a mission that got letters of marque. Uh-oh, woo! Hold up.
Set it on fire.
That got letters of marque for particular heads out there, you know, that were up there. Queen Isabel was one of them. To come over here and be nosy. They sent agents, AKA spies, AKA explorers. They sent agents, AKA spies, AKA explorers, to come over here and be nosy. To find out what we were doing. Right? Some of the people that came over here stayed and adopted our culture. Those that went back took our culture over there. How you can find this out? Look up the history of Old English. Watch. I could choke this mic. Watch what me and my wife about to put out. Watch. It's a whole bunch of stuff we've been holding on to. These niggas been lying the whole time. They were banking on us. They weren't banking on our ignorance. They was banking on pitting us together. Pitting us against each other. Because that would work out for their benefit. Well, if they feel as though their own people are against them, maybe these foreigners will have their back. That's what happened. Well, since my own people against me, I know some foreigners gonna have my back. That's exactly what happened. And that was their ticket in. A lot of people be out there were like, well, dang, how do we lose everything? We gave it to them. Once again, if a group of people are lost, they can be found. That's why there's a such thing as a lost and found on items and your mindset. Remember when you give your life to, well, I'm not gonna go too far, but when you give your life to somebody that they want you to worship, they say that you are reborn. You found yourself again. It worked that way. That's lost and found. Same way. Same way.
It's Dane Calloway.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna let y'all know the best way that I can that these people have no power. None. None. That's an illusion. They are afraid of what we're going to do. Because they don't know what we're going to do. This is the reason why there's a constant attack on people like me that are out there. Let me hold on. Cancel all of that. Cancel all of that. Cancel that. Cancel that. But there is, you know, some pushback from people like me that are out there resisting their indoctrination. And it doesn't matter their skin complexion. We fighting back. Once again, we playing chess while they playing checkers. They didn't, no, Willie, they didn't lie about all these treaties. Lied. You know how many treaties I have that were not signed? They even got the chief names on them. Misspelled and everything. No signature. Not even an X mark. They done made promise after promise after promise, and we let these foreigners infiltrate our tribes and turn them into nations, saying that you gotta have a card to get in. Oh, well, I don't care if your people on the 1830 U.S. Census, if they not on the 1860 U.S. Census. Then they got their own rules and regulations, and then their lawyers be foreigners from a whole nother country, of a whole nother continent. You mean to tell me these folks got power? Fuck no. Excuse me. No, the hell they don't. I'm telling you, if they were in my hand, I could right now, and they are. Well, you know what? Hold on. Matter of fact, let me say this. They are in our hand. Look, I'm talking about, look at your left hand and put it up right now. Look at your left hand. I want you to take your right hand and put it in the pluck position. And pluck them off your hand. That's what's going on right now. They scared now. They scared. And that's why I encourage every single one of you to do your genealogy on your own individual family, because that's the important part. That's the study part that needs to happen individually, because then you're going to realize that our people ain't never come from Africa. We were always here, and that changes everything. That means that everything is ours, not just reparations. You heard what I said? And I always told you, if you don't believe me, good. Look it up. Come back to me as soon as you do your research on your family. I dare you. Not one, you know how long I've been doing this? Not one time did a person come back to me and said, Dane, I found African in my family. I found the African in my, not one time. But they ain't no records don't exist. They stopped making the records after 1830. So how they know about what happened to your family in the 1600s? If records stopped at 1830. Because records do not stop at 18. Think about that. If the census started in 1790, how do records stop at 1830? Don't let them lie to you. I know y'all, somebody, Dane, stop yelling. I'm tired of that now. I'm them excuses that you making up. So you gonna hear me. There's gonna be some times where I raise my voice. Here go one of them. You better go find out what happened to your family right now, goddammit. Now. Talk to them elders in your family and see what happened. I dare you to ask them if their parents were involved in slavery or their grandparents were involved in slavery. They're not going to know that type of terminology. I dare you to ask them if they were working for somebody, because that's what it's about. Slavery ain't nothing but employment. You think you're not a slave right now working for somebody else that ain't you? You slaving for somebody else, but here's the kicker. You doing it for you and your family, just like our ancestors were back then. They forcing you now. They were forcing them back then. Keep raising the prices up. They got to work for us to make that money, to pay them bills. That's what happened. What? Huh? Copy and paste that into your mind. Then let it print. Let it print out. Yeah, sometimes it's going to be frustrating. It is. It's frustrating to me. You already know that. If it's frustrating to me, it's going to be frustrating to you. But to go back to what I was saying, after you find all that out about your individual family, we got work to do. We got work to do. This ain't about showboating. This ain't about getting on this person's platform or getting this interview with that person, getting in front of this mic and getting on Fox News, CNN, ABC, CBS. Fuck that. This is about us. Because if it wasn't for us, it would be no them. All them people, no, you are African. No, you are African. Nigga, you are African? Did you prove that your family came from Africa? If so, nigga, what tribe? And you better not name no tribe that's easy to say. And I dare you to call your ancestors out there. Ain't there one of them own a goddamn passport talking about some their ancestors in Africa. Ain't never go visit. Scared. And when they go visit, they go where? North Africa. Some of them people that went to West Africa went to Ghana one time and said, this ain't my people, and let me go back to America. It's on YouTube. Think I'm lying? They done ran, I'm talking about ever since the late 1950s, early 1960s, y'all ran with what those anthropologists gave y'all. Deeming themselves as philanthropists, like they big or something. All them niggas was foreigners. They ain't know nothing about your family. Nothing. Their top guy came from Germany. But Dane, what about all those people that were at the top of the 1900s that were fighting for nationality? Nah, they were fighting for political position. Civics. They were a civic organization. They were fighting for political power. Nationality. We don't need to fight for none of that. We are naturally born with our rights. We don't need to go to no government begging for some goddamn rights that we were born with. Well, I'm fighting for my nationality. What? The only person that was fighting was your mother birthing you, pushing you out. But I bet you ain't give your mother them type of props that you holding up these civic organizations to. Giving them all the props, all the fame and glory. Same thing with them pastors and preachers and all them people that you holding up high. Give that credit to your mother for birthing you. And I bet your mother wasn't even in Africa when it happened. Neither was your grandmother. Neither was your great-grandmother. Neither was your great-great-grandmother. Neither was your great-great-great-grandmother. We could go back generation after generation. Generation starting over 25, 30 years. It ain't hard. You can find out if you came off of those lists, those vessel lists of the disembark and embark, or who came off of them boats. And I showed you that it was nothing but foreigners coming off of those boats and we were already here. I dare you to find out if you swear to, I dare you. I dare you to go find out. Trace your family back, starting with you, and go back and see if it line up. Each generation is multiplied by 4. Hurry up. You got work to do. 2 grandmothers, 2 grandfathers. It ain't hard. Start with you. It ain't. Find out. Because look, you don't even need to go back to the 1600s to find out if you're indigenous or not. You could go right there in the middle of the 1800s and find out where your family was residing to find out if you're indigenous or not. And see if that census ain't marked you down as colored. Now, well, he got some little light skin in him. They're gonna put you as mulatto. And that was all after they called you an Indian. Then they turned around and told you that it was a difference between a Negro and an African. Negroid, Africanoid. They told you that back then, right? And that happened all the way down to the census too. Now all of a sudden they got descriptions for what a so-called African American is on the census. They ain't got that type of, they ain't had that type of stuff back then because they weren't referring to Africans. Also inside of the, it was told in reverse book that me and my wife put out, I also talked about that 1619 story. How they lied and said that they were talking about Africans. But that was changed in 1996 or 1994 from Negro. And then they got it wrong because John Rolfe was talking, he said Negra. That was his language. And he had a way of broken English. This is another reason why you know that them fools wasn't speaking English. Writing letters with Y's and I's and stuff like that. Like, nah, he was going by way of how it was pronounced. That's how you know it wasn't their language. That's how you know they wasn't as intelligent as everybody want them, you know, to make them out to be, as far as these so-called writers, anonymous writers of American history. These fools ain't know nothing until we showed them what was going on. And shout out to the Virginia Indians, but at the same time, we made a mistake. Shout out to the Virginia Indians, though. We made a mistake showing them foreigners how we do it when it comes to the tobacco trade, corn trade, but especially the tobacco, though. You know, cotton was last. All that cotton stuff came last. They knew tobacco was a big deal. This the reason why you saw those little tobacco statues looking like us and not them foreigners that they call the Native Americans. I'm talking about as far as a representation of us, a depiction of us, statues of our ancestors, holding them up high. Don't forget, if they created a statue for their folks that they holding up high, don't forget that them tobacco statues that you see, listen, by those tobacco stores and all the rest of them other places, including museums, when they got statues of us, they holding us up high for a reason. Because if it wasn't for us, it would be no them. I'm gonna go back and say that again. If it wasn't for us, it would be no them. And look, I done showed you a couple times how they called the those indigenous statues Negro. Negro. You saw Negro Indian, Urban Indian, a Merry Indian, Wild Indian.
I run shit here. You just live here.
Cause one thing about it, 2 things for sure, 3 things for certain, nigga.
I'm the realest nigga in it. You already know.
Yep. The niggas been running it, nigga. Yeah. So I've been hyped. I see my wife to text me and let me know she ready. So we about to go over our stuff on the Maui situation. We putting it all together so we could go live on the Maui wildfires because there's more information I got to put out there. I got to, and I got to do it in the order. So let me get with my wife. Those of you that show support on that first day that we released that book, man, y'all keeping us busy. But I thank you all. Don't forget that we are doing our own distribution. So it may be like 2 weeks for that to get, I'm being real. It may be like 2 weeks for you to get your copy. But don't forget that we're going to have a surprise in there for you all, a very special gift. And it is signed by both of us. Okay, those of you that have did it and those of you that are looking for where the books are located, they are on Amazon and stuff like that, but you can go to get the signed copies by us, from us. Go to DaneMakeYouThink.com. That is a very brand spanking new website, DaneMakeYouThink.com. I appreciate all the love and support you all showed up and showed out. We're going to do this again in probably a day or two. I say a day because once we get everything together, we going live on that so we can move on to the brand new content. I'll be seeing you all very shortly. I love you all. You all take care. Wado.
I'm just here to make you think.